Hello, Harley. How are you?
Hi, Martin. It's good to see you.
So, Harley, I'm here because what I'm doing is I'm recreating famous food from Disney films, okay? So, you're here because of Ratatouille. You're the production designer on Ratatouille. They've told me that you're going to be a source of information to help me decipher how to do a ratatouille perfectly and give me loads of tips about ratatouille itself.
Ratatouille? It's a peasant dish. Are you sure you want to serve this to Eagle?
Okay, you ready, Harley?
I think so.
Okay, Harley, before we get into things, I'm going to do a quick intro just for anyone that doesn't know you, and you can let me know if I've missed anything off. So, a production designer on Ratatouille, you've worked on some of the most beloved Pixar films, you've won a lot of awards, and you've also created some of the worlds that people will recognise from some of the best animations. Is there anything I've missed?
Oh, no, that is so nice of you to wrap it up that way. I just retired, so that's like a perfect summation of how I'd like people to think.
Oh, beautiful. Well, look, for some people that don't know, I didn't know what a production designer is. So for those people that don't know, like myself, could you let us into your world, what a production designer did on Ratatouille?
Well, as production designer, I'm leading a team of illustrators, set designers, sculptors. We're working on the look of the settings and the characters of the film. And so, I've got a wonderful team, super talented in each of those areas, and I'm just have the privilege of kind of trying to pull it all together.
So you're like the man at the top of the pyramid that's created this beautiful thing.
Well, yeah, we had a great team.
Good, good. So with Ratatouille, it's either a play on words. There's Ratatouille, and there's the rat. What came first when coming up with the concept?
I think the rat came first, but Ratatouille was the title. It was always called a temporary title when we started, and sometimes those things you just get used to it and it sounds so natural. But Ratatouille really stuck, and it was actually a challenge, if you can imagine, to have that be because of the French spelling, whether Americans would be able to understand how to pronounce it. Anyway, there was a lot of discussion, many alternate titles that were not good. And I'm really glad. Steve Jobs actually was the one to say, no, you should stick with Ratatouille.
Whoa.
And he said, just put a phonetic spelling under it in the logo, which is kind of a nutty idea, but nobody questioned it, and people pronounced it right then.
There you go. Wow. I was wondering if it was like the perfect match of ratatouille, and it was like in my head I was playing out lots of different dishes, and it wouldn't make sense. I was like fondue. I was like, what animal goes with a fondue? You wouldn't have I don't know, a flamingo running around Paris, would you?
Yeah. Well, and we didn't know exactly how we'd use the ratatouille dish. We just knew it had to be in the movie then. So
yeah. Brilliant, brilliant. So, look, as a chef, this film speaks to me in so many different ways. But how did you manage to go about, navigating that space of making sure the animation was a direct representation of a chef's world?
We did a lot of research. All the Pixar films go through this, but I feel like on Ratatouille we went the extra mile, and that included several trips to Paris, which was awesome. And getting to visit the kitchens of the 2 and 3 and 1-star Michelin restaurants and in Paris, and then at the same time going down during the day, going down into the sewers. It was this weird dichotomy of an experience, but really powerful.
Thomas Keller, one of the most decorated chefs that you can imagine, you spent a bit of time with him because the ratatouille is as they say, a sort of a bit of a peasant's dish, and then you turned it into something that was beautiful. How did that come about? Was that the end point with going, we must create something beautiful, or was it straight in there with Thomas Keller and yourself working together?
Well, Brad Bird, the director, and Brad Lewis, the producer, made the connection with Thomas Keller, and we had heard him speak, and he has a very famous restaurant north of in the wine country, in Yountville, called the French Laundry. And so we visited there, and the producer actually served a little bit of time on their, they allowed him to be part of their kitchen for one evening. Anyway, the director asked Thomas Keller if he could produce this dish, and just explained the important place it had in the story. And I was actually, because we had been working on the other dishes, I actually surprised that Thomas Keller could hit it so perfectly in that one moment, really, that he had made something similar before, and but then he did a whole different recreation for the Ratatouille. And we needed something that was like a jewel in the plate, and that also was related enough to the sort of peasant version of Ratatouille, the stew, that it would connect, and we could make that point of Ego, the food critic, how it would bring him back to his childhood, just the taste of that. And,
Yeah. I mean, although I've seen that section 100 times now, trying to get into it, is that bit with the first mouthful, and it just sends him back. Because that's what food's all about for me as well. So it's really amazing. Talking about food and animation, how hard was it, or how fun was it to make the food look appetizing through animation?
that was one of the biggest challenges, actually. The movie wouldn't work unless the food looked appetizing, and naturally, in the computer graphic food is disturbing looking. We did many tests, and Sharon Callahan, the director of photography, did many photographic tests and analysis on what makes food look delicious on film, and the translucency, the liquid quality of there's actually a lot of action happening on freshly cooked food, as but we didn't know any of that, and the steam and atmosphere all add to it, and so we had kind of separate challenges to recreate in the computer, the translucency of the food, the active surfaces, the kind of relaxed quality of something that is resting, food that's resting on each other. It actually, the Ratatouille in the film, and recreating what Thomas Keller did was challenging, because it was all very relaxed and soft looking. You could feel it. You knew that it was delicious just by looking at it.
Yeah, no, honestly, it really comes across, and I've watched the film plenty of times with my son, and we would still go, I would definitely eat all of that. One of my, I mean, this is me just going off on tangents now, but one of my favourite bits was where all of the rats were on the graters and the mandolins, and they were standing, grating cheese and all of this. And it leads me into sort of understanding through the production design, how did you get down, and film stuff in the rats, point of view? Did you get down on your hands and knees with a camera and figure that out, or how did it work out?
Yeah, the sets were designed both for human point of view and rat point of view. We had to make them work from both levels, and it actually was a challenge, but really fun. But we, as you were saying, we were photographing our research down at rat level in the kitchens in Paris, and so we got a good idea where we needed to go and what we needed to put detail in. But having a giant group of rats in the kitchen, I mean, that whole concept is scary to me, actually, initially. So we had to make that all work as far as the cleanliness. The rats are always washing their hands or getting washed in the dishwasher, just to belay the ick factor that could pop up for the audience. We were very careful.
It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. So there was one of the questions was around sort of making the world feel real, and looking at the chefs and like looking at their chef's arms with burns and all of that kind of stuff. How did that all come about, or how did you get into so much detail with all of that when doing the film?
We were interviewing the chefs all along the way, and observing. We stood in the corner at Guy Savoy in Paris for a whole morning as they were preparing for lunch there, and noticed things like the burns on their wrists, the way they're wiping their hands on their the napkin, but not on their cloth, not on their sleeves. And there's a whole montage in the film where Colette basically breaks it all down for linguine, and that all was from observation and Brad Bird's amazing script.
What are you doing?
I'm cutting vegetables. I'm cutting the vegetables.
No, you waste energy and time. You think cooking is a cute job, eh? Like mommy in the kitchen? Well, mommy never had to face the dinner rush when the orders come flooding in and every dish is different and none are simple and all of the different cooking times, but must arrive on the customer's table at exactly the same time, hot and perfect. Every second counts and you cannot be mommy. What is this? Keep your station clear. When the rush comes, what will happen? Messy station, slow things down. Food doesn't go, orders pile up, disaster. I'll make this easy to remember. Keep your station clear, or I will kill you! Ugh, your sleeves look like you threw up on them. Keep your hands and arms in, close to the body, like this, see? Always return to this position. Cook smooth, fast. Sharp utensils, hot metal, keep your arms in. You will minimize cuts and burns and keep your sleeves clean. Mark of a chef. Messy apron, clean sleeves.
You know, the clothing actually was a big challenge. Pixar hadn't done layered clothing before. Humans were actually still difficult to have not be disturbing at that point. And so that was one of the other challenges, to get their costumes right, which were layered. You know, we just come from Incredibles 1, where they told the art department that the characters all needed to have large bottoms so their clothes don't slide off. And I thought, no, we're not doing that. So we had to figure out how to keep the clothing attached. It was actually really new technology that made that possible. For the layered, the apron, the chef's jacket, all the attachments to that jacket and their pants all together to make that all work.
It's so mad, isn't it? You don't even think about that. You just go, oh, it's just clothes. They'll be all right. But you've got to figure all of that out. Amazing. Yeah. Another question was the scene where they eat the ratatouille. Someone else was meant to have sat in that spot and eaten the ratatouille. Yes. Is there any other parts in the film that are like little golden nuggets that people wouldn't know?
Yeah, well, that's a good example. That moment originally happened with Gusteau, the pullback from the table to his childhood version. And when Brad came on the film, he made Gusteau a ghost or a little sprite.
What are you doing?
I'm hungry. I don't know where I am, and I don't know when I'll find food again.
Remy, you are better than that. You are a cook. A cook makes. A thief takes. You are not a thief.
A spirit, because Gusteau had died in the new version of the film, and I thought that was brilliant. But he wanted to. That moment was very important to show the power of cooking, and so he showed it through the food critic.
Okay, so this I suppose goes back to the whole production design. We saw some of the images with the rat on the roof looking through the glass. Mm-hmm. How did you get to that stage? Was it, like we discussed about going around the city, but how did you get there?
Well, the story team needed a way for Remy to be able to observe the kitchen but still be on the outside.
A real gourmet kitchen, and I get to watch.
You've read my book. Let us see how much you know, huh? Which one is the chef?
Oh, that guy.
Very good.
actually, naturally, I always like putting skylights in films because you can light in interesting ways with them. And so we created a skylight for Remy to rest on, and it's like a bird's eye view of the whole kitchen. And there's the scene where he's pointing out, I won't get all the titles right, but the commis and the sous chef and the baking area. And
You're doing good.
Oh.
Chef de partie is one that I was going to go. There you go.
Yes, yeah. And so we were, it was a bit of exposition, but to show Remy's knowledge of that world and how he wanted to be in it. And so the rats at the beginning are always in the outside where it's cold. The kitchen is always warm and inviting, and Remy eventually literally falls into the kitchen.
He's ruining the soup! We gotta tell someone that he's not...
Amazing. I love it. Another one goes back to sort of, I suppose, some people were lucky enough to go to the French Laundry and immerse themselves in that. Did your team get to spend any time doing cooking courses or anything to really understand food?
Yes, yeah, we had actually a great time. There's a cooking school in Emeryville where the studio is, and they had used it as the set for Top Chef, one of the early seasons. Anyway, it had all these ovens and the whole setup for a big group, and they taught cooking classes there. And so we came there, and my team was working on a niçoise salad, and another group was working on a dessert, and then we enjoyed it at the end of the morning. It was really fun, and I don't know. You're in that world all the time. There's a sense of I don't know. There's a civilized feeling, a warm feeling, community. Eating, fixing something together, and then eating it together. I really appreciate that.
No, I get you. Cooking is my happy place. I used to work at a cookery school as well, so seeing people's like camaraderie and cracking on together, I loved it. So yeah. Give us a bit of a time frame of having the idea to building out all of these beautiful pictures and everything, learning about everything to get into the final point. How long did that whole process take?
I was on the film for almost 6 years. Can you imagine?
6 years? That's my son's age.
Well, that's what it feels like. It's like going to some kind of college or something. And I actually still miss working in that world, but we were so steeped in it. And at the beginning, we're pitching ideas in just individual illustration, beat boards they call them. And we did a pitch for Steve Jobs. He was kind of watching out after our project because we hadn't joined Disney yet. And so we made this pitch about a rat cooking who wants to be a chef, and I thought, oh my gosh, what is going to happen? But long pause at the end of the meeting, and he just said, I think this sounds really charming. He had the vision to be able to see where it could go, but it was a long struggle to get the story to work right, and but still a joy to work on. I'm still proud of that film.
Okay, if this is going to be a tough one, but cast your mind back, and what was your favourite scene to work on? Let's go with to work on first. What was your favourite scene?
I especially love the Remy's ascent from the sewer. He's just washed up. He doesn't know where he is, and he goes up through the walls of this Paris apartment building and sees little vignettes of people's lives along the way, and then winds up on the rooftop looking across Paris and ending with an image of Gusteau's. And that is sort of a showcase for the design of the movie, and I like that. And it's a high point, I feel like, in Remy's life.
Paris? All this time, I've been underneath Paris?
Yeah, that bit always gets me as well. So it's such a good food, and amazing. Yes. Thank you.
Anyway, Martyn, I've been wondering what you feel like as a chef How does Ratatouille strike you?
Well, I tell you what, there's lots of key points in it that either throws me back to working in restaurants, having the waiters that are, worried about coming into the kitchen, all of that dynamic always rings true to me.
Someone has asked for his room.
You?
Yes. What do I tell them?
Well, what did you tell them?
I told them I would ask.
What are you blathering about? Customers are asking what is new.
What should I tell them?
What did you tell them?
I told them I would ask.
But then also the moments of all of the pots and everything going on and the chaos of service. It just, for me personally, that's what I really loved about it.
I need 2 salmon, 3 salad composite, and a 3 filet.
Byron, 2 orders. Seared salmon.
Free filet, working! I need plates!
3 salad composite.
Oh, thank you. And that was what we wanted. That was our goal when we were making the movie, is that chefs, and especially chefs in Paris, would recognize, okay, Pixar did it right, and it's not just a stereotypical nonsense that's happening in the kitchen. And
Yeah. No, you can tell you really lived it, so well done.
oh, thank you.
Right, Harley, I've just spotted on your desk there is 2 rats.
Oh.
They must be from Ratatouille. Is it?
Yes, that is Remy and Emile. That's a little piggy bank that Disney made.
That storm's getting closer. Hey, Remy, you think that maybe we shouldn't be so...
Beautiful. Blast from the past. 20 years ago. 20 years. That's
Yes,
crazy.
yeah.
Harley, thank you so much for your time. I have to dash because I've got to go and actually make the confit bialdi for myself now. So wish me luck. Thank you once again, and I'll see you soon.
Thanks, Martin. It's been really fun.
See you later.
Bye-bye.